Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier, and thank you as always for stopping by. Sub-Saharan Africa, week ahead, Ghana rate decision, Kenya MPC, Zambia November CPI, South Africa PPI and money supply, Nigeria CBN PMI, Botswana trade, Kenya Uganda November CPI, Angola MPC. Of course, South Africa dialed up rates a quarter point, and I saw Israel, not that it's in Africa, also dialed up interest rates. This isn't going well. There were 45 cases this week, November 18th to 24th. In September, there were some weeks with less than 10 cases. The longer this burns, the harder it will be to stop. Helen Brantswell, going back to October 2014 when I wrote about Ebola, and I said Ebola is about its escape velocity. Viruses exhibit non-linear and exponential characteristics. Looking at that chart, we're getting there. US Embassy in Kinshasa closes over terrorist threat. The embassy said it had received credible and specific information of a possible terrorist threat against US government facilities in Kinshasa. US citizens in Kinshasa and throughout the DRC are strongly encouraged to maintain a heightened level of vigilance and practice good situational awareness. Monitor local media for updates. The DR Congo is expected to hold elections on December 23rd, with campaigns now in high gear. The DR Congo accused Washington of sparking needless fear after the US Embassy in Kinshasa warned of a possible terrorist threat. Mozambique, militant attack in Cabo Delgado province. This is from Signal Risk. 12 people killed in a suspected Islamist attack in northern Mozambique, with thousands of villagers fleeing the area to neighboring Tanzania. And this has been, I think this is the third attack in a month. A local journalist and the villagers were killed by machete or died when their houses were set on fire by the attackers. If you look down the coastline from Somalia to Mozambique, the frequency has increased. Al-Shabaab gunmen killed a cleric and 9 others at a religious center in Somalia. Gunmen in a suicide car bomber struck a religious center in central Somalia on Monday, killing a cleric and at least 9 of his followers. The car bomb rammed into the center of the man who insulted the prophet. Our militants are now inside and fighting goes on. Al-Shabaab said last year the cleric had referred to himself as the prophet, an accusation denied at the time by Adiweli. We cannot know the figure of casualties right now. Al-Shabaab had threatened him many times. So as I'm saying, that coastline from Somalia all the way down is suddenly seeing a much more intensified insurgency. Airtel's Africa unit said it has appointed 8 banks for an IPO on an international stock exchange: JP Morgan, Citi, Bank of America, ABSA, Barclays, BNP Paribas, Goldman Sachs and Standard Bank of South Africa. South African all shares down 13.13% this year. Dollar versus rand losing a little bit of the froth, 13.9055. Egyptian pound, 17.9570. Nigerian all share down 17.42% year to date. Ghana Stock Exchange is up 0.25% year to date. New Barrick Gold CEO eyes miners' alliance to fix Tanzania tax round. In an increasingly acrimonious conflict that has lasted almost 2 years, the government has torn up mining contracts, hiked taxes and royalties, and banned raw minerals exports. Magufuli nicknamed the bulldozer swept to power in 2015, pledging to secure a bigger share of resource wealth and cut corruption. Barrick is concerned about the situation in the country at the moment. It's desperate, he said. Of course, Acacia was slapped with a $190 billion fine, which is just silly. So we'll have to watch how this plays out. And obviously you've got the cashew nut crisis as well. The East Africans reporting Tanzania's cashew nut traders are staring at huge losses following the government's move to confiscate the produce of those who fail to show proof that they are farmers. The government has launched the verification exercise to rid the sector of middlemen who have dominated the cashew nut trade for years. In southern Mtwara and Lindi regions, where the army was deployed to collect cashews bought by the government, the authorities had been confiscating thousands of tons of nuts. That's one way about going about it in order to prevent that $200 million liability landing on the government of Tanzania's balance sheet. Cooperatives have warned that they would be left saddled with huge debts after bankrolling farmers to prepare the farms and purchase inputs following the government decision to pay farmers directly for the produce. Standard Chartered is reviewing its African businesses and may opt to focus on some core countries. Standard Chartered operates across a vast network in Africa, including small economies such as Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast and Cameroon. Standard Chartered Kenya share price data, closing price 188.75, market cap $632 million, EPS 19.64, price earnings ratio 9.61. But they released Q3 2018 results with profit after tax increasing by 46.7%, which makes the forward PE quite attractive. Razia Khan, and I was thinking the same thing, is saying with the oil price now below $60 a barrel, is it too late for Kenya to think about raising VAT on fuel as its commitment to long-term reform? Short-term debt, $16 billion, takes toll on Kenya Power. Kenya Power, 47.7% surge in short-term debt has plunged the company into a $16.1 billion negative working capital position, forcing it to open negotiations for loan restructuring. Kenya Power said last week it had opened talks with its creditors to extend the payment period for segments of its loan obligations that are due to mature in the current financial year. Were the accounts qualified? Yes, they were. It relates mostly to the borrowing covenants. The covenant we have is that we should maintain a cash ratio of 1-to-1 for some of these loans. Kenya Power's total debt stood at 113 billion shillings, down from last year's 122 billion, but it is a surge in short-term liabilities that has caused the latest pressure. Kenya Power's share price data closed at 355, EPS 0.98, PE ratio 3.62. Kenya shilling 102.50. After all that panic, we're back to reasonable levels. Nairobi all share down 15.64% year to date. NSE 20 down 25.34% year to date. And Carrefour is targeting online shoppers in a deal with Jumia. Thank you for stopping by.